welcome to another video. I want to show you how I prep and how I have ingredient and component prepped in order to lose 40 pounds and then keep them off. And then this is my assistant Morgan. She's going to be helping me today, and we literally have 30 minutes until I have a call. So we're going to do up some very fast ingredient prep. And I wanted to show you this because while I have made meals in the past and I have shown you recipes that I've done and kind of more complex meal prep where I will put a whole lot of components together, what I'm going to show you is what I actually do. It's what I consistently do, and I do it on a rolling system where as soon as I run out of one thing, I just prep the other one up. So often that is at night when I can just like shove some kumara in the oven like we're going to do now, and tofu is just whenever I run out. Literally, if I have a chopping board out, cut up some tofu. So what we're going to do first is get a whole lot of kumara. Can you grab that? Let's get that prepared.
All together.
Sometimes I wash, sometimes I don't, but they're looking a little bit gnarly. Alright, so you're going to want to put your oven on to 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to cook them on like a fan forced oven as well. I'm going to cook up some tofu at the same time. I just love this one. Then all I'm going to do is just cut them in half like that. So it's a bit more dirty. Do you want to put them in the oven? That's it. Great. $180 and just like fan force. 50 minutes to an hour. So we've got our super firm tofu, which Morgan has already started cutting, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, and then you can do pretty much most of it. It's very easy. All right, what I normally do is I cut it like this first so that it's kind of in even cubes, and then when you chop it, you can chop it into cubes. There you go. So if my 6-year-old can do all of this, then you easily can. We're just going to use the same marinade, if you will, that I just always use, which is nutritional yeast, and I use about 2 tablespoons, but I don't measure it. Literally, yeah, 2 tablespoons-ish, like that. And then we're going to also do Vegeta stock. And I've had people comment that this has MSG, and you're totally correct. It does have MSG. I'm not concerned about that. There's a lot of studies that have been done on MSG. Turns out that it's absolutely fine. Like, you're getting in as much of the same compound if you were to eat pizza or tomatoes. It's actually really interesting, the history on MSG. Most of the fear around it stems from racism that came from fear of Chinese restaurants, which I found really fascinating when I learned that. But we're going to do about like a teaspoon of this and shake it up. And you can see the biggest thing that saves me time is I'm not pressing tofu, I'm not freezing tofu. People do fancy things with tofu. Totally fine if you have a lot of time. I do not, so I do not. Great. Oh, even that can happen. I think the container may have broken a bit. But that's okay. Just don't drop it again. When it comes to this, you can actually call this a day for your prep and then just get out little bits of it whenever you want to, and then cook it up in an air fryer. But what I like to do is just to give it a light kind of cook so that, cook it, again, it just doesn't take as long. I use the Instant Pot air fryer and I really like it. If you are thinking about getting an air fryer, I do recommend this one. And I also recommend that you get one where you can have the pull-out drawer. It's just simply easier to clean this way. I'm going to shove that. And you want to do it for 7 minutes. Actually 5 minutes. Yeah. Alright, so the other thing that we're going to do is, the other piece of the meal prep that I do is I have like my overnight oats, which are very simple. I literally do the same thing constantly. I just do my prep every 2 days of this. Rolling prep is really easy, like I said, where you just do, when you run out of something, then you cook up more. So I'll do my sweet potato at night sometimes if I'm like, yep, I can see there's nothing in the fridge. I have my broccoli ready to go in containers, so I have that as a side, and I pretty much just eat sweet potato with some tofu and some broccoli most days. Like, that's how simple my meals have become. And my overnight oats, I do 80 grams of quick oats. I do use some protein powder in there, which helps me to get protein as I'm trying to gain some muscle right now. 10 grams of ground flax, about 200 mils of soy milk, 150 grams of some kind of frozen berry, and then I just bump it up with water for like whatever water I need. And I just do that every 2 days so that I always have 2 containers of oats ready to go. That's how simple things need to be. In this phase of life where I'm in, where things are really, really busy, it works. And sometimes I'll swap out where instead of doing sweet potato, I'll do packet rice with my lunch. So it's like a tiny little bit of variety there. Or I'll do some leftovers. And this is where this next piece comes in, and that is figuring out core meals. And because we've gone into winter, I pretty much have to do this every change of seasons, where I'll get into a groove of things that we like to eat, and then the season will change and we can't get that produce anymore. So if you're in a place where you get the same kind of produce year round, then this probably doesn't apply, but for us it's really important to know what we can eat seasonally. So what I want to do is just write down and kind of have an idea of our 3 to 4 core meals that we have every week, and like what days we're going to be having them, so that I know that. So Morgan, I was going to ask you, what kind of things do you like eating? We're going to do a lot of soups and stews because it's simply easiest and it's winter and that's what we have access to. Because right now, just so you know, like we've got access to lots of cabbage, lots of broccoli, parsnip, carrots, like all those winter veg, but not tomatoes. Not tomatoes.
Avocado.
Not avocados, yeah. I think I'm going to do soup like 2 times a week.
Soup?
It's too much chopping, it's too hard. I was gonna do that kind of like chicken soup that I absolutely love. We're gonna do that once a week. I'm gonna do like a celery. Should I do like a celery and leek soup? Okay, so that's 2 nights. Should we do pasta one night?
Yeah, pasta.
Okay.
Pasta's a nice one.
We could do 1 pot pasta because that's like super easy with mushrooms and things. And I have a recipe for 1 pot pasta as well. You can go check that out here. And what else? That's 3 meals.
Chili.
Okay, you like chili?
Yeah, and I also like nachos.
Okay, well, we can do chili and you guys can have nachos.
Yeah.
We've got 3 core things and 2 of those are soup, so we've got 4 meals. I think we should do like stir fry.
Oh yeah, stir fry.
And what else should we do?
Maybe
like component meal with like potatoes, like what we're cooking up.
So we have like beans and those tomatoes in the tins, and with rice and potatoes.
Or what if we just put potato and veg and tofu, because like we always have that ready to go.
Potato and veg.
Yeah, and then the other kind of idea that I had is like backup kind of easy ones is like noodles.
Oh yeah, noodles.
Yeah, and this is just going to give us ideas. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to get Nick to know like Monday. He needs to know that we need to put on rice, because Nick puts on rice. What day should we do stir fry? Like Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Stir fry. Okay, and then everything else I can kind of work out from there and just decide what we want to do, what we feel like. Well, this is our list. So do you want to see our list? Very simple. We have chicken soup, celery and like leek type soup, 1 pot pasta, chili, stir fry, potatoes and veg, and tofu, and then noodles. And that's it. And that's all we really need to worry about right now. People spend so long meal planning. This can be meal planning. Let's put it on the fridge and then we're done, and we don't have to think about this anymore. We just choose that. So now we know that we got that ready, and our tofu is done. I think might need a little bit longer. Yeah, it needs a little bit longer. I'm gonna do another 5 minutes. Okay, so it's the next day, hence I look a little bit more put together. And I just wanted to show you how everything ended up, because I ran out of light. And so my tofu is ready to go. I actually cooked up another batch because we ended up eating that for last night, and this literally took like a couple of minutes right now. You can see how good this looks. Oh, it's so good. And you can see how my kumara sweet potato turned out. And so I just like turned it halfway, and it ended up taking longer than an hour. I want to say like an hour 10, an hour 20, but the biggest thing for me is always that, do they pass what I call the squish test? And the squish test is like, they come out and like, can I squish them? So this now, just put in the air fryer. Super delicious. And then yesterday as well, I just steamed up some potatoes. So these are ready to go as well. And so in terms of rolling prep, I always have some form of potato. I always have my tofu, and let me show you my fridge. So I always have like my big container of broccoli, like so ready to go for anything that I need. What I do want to do though is actually make a dessert, and I saw this reel, which I'm not going to show you because it has a lot of swearing in it. Basically like protein bar that I would have as a dessert, because I love the Aloha bars, but I've just ran out of them. I really want to have something that I can just grab that's really easy for dessert. I'm going to give that a go and see how that turns out. And we're going to use some rice crackers for this because they're very low in calories. I'm going to use a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of protein powder and some PB2 powder. So this is like not a Whole Foods type dessert. It's more of just like low calorie dessert little treat, because I'm a dessert girly and I eat dessert pretty much every night, and I just want to give it a go. Let's try it. Oh, by the way, biggest thing for me is I just don't want to have something that I have to prepare in the moment, because I will just like end up not doing it, or I will just want to eat like too much of it. Like if I make nice cream, quite often I will want to eat like so much nice cream, whereas like if I can like portion stuff out, it's just a bit easier for me to not overeat on it. I don't actually have a recipe for this. I'm going to try half a cup and just see how that goes. This is all an experiment here. We shall see. It's very sticky and I really hate sticky things. You can do it, Charles. Oh, my hands feel very sticky. I guess we'll just try it and see. And it smells like Rice Krispies. Now, my vision for this is to put some like raspberries on top. So I'm going to do that. If you have fresh berries, I think that would be a whole lot better. And now smell this. We're just having fun in the kitchen right now. All right, and honestly, I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. All of this was an experiment very loosely based on a reel that I saw, but I'm gonna put this in the freezer and then just see the calories on it, because that's what I wanna know and I'm curious about, and then we'll see how this goes. All right, while that's setting, I'm getting hungry. It is 1 p.m, so let's make a super quick lunch. Air fryer is dirty because I literally just cooked that tofu in there. Okay, so this is probably an extremely boring looking meal to most people, but honestly this is what I eat, and I'm almost like embarrassed to say it, but I'm gonna put some chili salt on here. But the reason that I eat like this is that I find it very satisfying, and I find it very simple, and I find it very easy. And right now at this stage of my life, because I'm so busy, full-time business, working out 5 days a week, often my work day starts at like 7 a.m. I do calls and all kinds of things, plus being a busy mom, it doesn't fit in with my goals to just spend a ton of time cooking. So I eat a very simple lunch and then I make something a little bit more involved for dinner, like the list that you saw me make. So we're gonna do a pasta tonight. So just some chili salt, and sometimes I do soy sauce, and a little bit of bagel seasoning as well. And that's kind of it, and I really, really enjoy it. A meal like this, I did the calories for you. It's telling me about like 420 calories. That's not including this, which will add about 20 calories. So about like 450 to 500 calories, which is great. These sweet potatoes here are very, very filling. The Japanese sweet potatoes are actually higher in calories than regular sweet potatoes. They are just a lot more dense, so that's why I can like get away with eating like a little bit less in terms of that. And I did a meal prepping video recently where I showed like how easy it was to kind of make this a bit similar kind of thing, but make this a lot easier, a lot more decadent, I should say, or like put some sauce and things like that. You can do that. You can add a dollop of hummus, you can add avocado. This just works for me right now. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. Let's see how this goes. So it's still kind of like mushy. I think this is how I would have it. I'm gonna cut it up. All right, so this is what it looks like. Turns out to 173 calories, which is pretty good for like a protein bar. Typically protein bars are like over 200 calories. There's quite a lot of food here. It works out to about 12 grams of protein, so kind of nervous. what it looks like. Oh, very cold. Okay, honest feedback on that is the Rice Krispie side of things is gone like very chewy, which is understandable because it's been exposed to moisture. It's not bad. I don't think anyone would rave about it. I think there's better desserts that you could make. So I don't know if this is a fail. This might be a fail. Maybe I should have tested it first, but that's kind of like meal prep for me, is trying a couple of things and then always coming back and realizing that it's just easier. Like, it's sometimes just so simple. If you're in America, like what I do is the aloha bars. I really like them. Or I do like a cup of tea or hot chocolate. Like, I just went to the supermarket the other day and found like a sugar-free hot chocolate. So I'll do that with some soy milk. And that's kind of like what my prep is. Mostly I just try and get other people to do as much. And then what you saw was, because I made that list, tonight we'll do a one pot pasta. And I'm going to do the one pot pasta that I made in another recipe or another video, which is super easy. I'm just going to add a ton of broccoli because that's what I have right now, as you saw. And then add some broccoli as a side. So this is how I meal prep. I don't normally do things like this. And I don't think I'll do it again because it was like, you saw, it was quite a bit of effort. I'm also kind of stoked that now I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8. That's even less calories than what I said. I think I said like 170. So that'd be like 150, maybe like 130. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it gives you some inspiration of how simple your prep can be and to just make your life a whole lot simpler. And that's it from me. I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.